Thanks to those joining me live and to those joining me in archive. This is a late Saturday night. Just got home a little bit ago and I thought, you know what, let me just come on here. Let me do a YouTube video. Why the hell not? Why shouldn't these styles just come on here and do videos? If you're watching archive, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Thumbs up the video. All right? Support the channel. Okay, those watching on on live, I'll be opening the chat up, or the chat's already open for you guys, but I'll be looking at it momentarily. All right? Look, I just wanted to address this really quick, and it's something I've been noticing, and it's one of those, like, you nod your head as you listen to it, and then you think about it. You're like, wait a minute. This is a stupid point, okay? And I know you guys have heard it. I know you have. All right. So it's an argument built off of straw men. That's what it is. It's a straw man argument, but nonetheless, let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, let's go all the way. Let's go as high up in the biggest, stand possible. Okay, and let's just dive into this pool. Let's just dive in. I want to dive in like this is triple somersault dive in. I just want to dive in all the way. So check it out. And I know you guys have heard this argument, so let me go over this argument really quick, all right? And this is the argument against Undisputed, all right? And the argument is that, and I know you guys have heard, don't pretend you haven't heard this argument. You know you've heard it, and here it is. And let's just go ahead and fucking just tear it apart, okay? This is the argument. You ready? You know what happens when you make a stupid argument and DStyle listens to it? You know what happens? We're going to go over it. We're going to dive in, right? I'm going to fucking... I'm going to go to the highest fucking platform. I'm going to dive into this shit. So check it out. Fucking pool looks like a quarter size from how high I am before I dive into this shit, okay? I'll check it out. And the argument is, yeah, boy, all these people argue for Undisputed, and they're always complaining about the sanctioning bodies and about how the sanctioning bodies are so corrupt and don't follow rules, and how the sanctioning bodies are so bad for boxing and all this, but at the same breath, they want to argue that the sanctioning bodies are so important because they believe in Undisputed. Like, don't be stupid. Don't be naive. Don't be that naive. Don't be that stupid. This idea that you can't, in one hand, be all for Undisputed, but in the other hand, criticize sanctioning bodies for their blatant corruption is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous argument. It's a stupid argument. Okay, you don't have to worship the ground that the presidents of the sanctioning body walk on for you to be for Undisputed. Okay, it doesn't make you like a contrarian. Okay, because you don't worship the ground that the sanctioning bodies walk on and their business practices. All right, yet at the same time be for Undisputed. That is the stupidest, most recent argument I've been hearing. Okay, no, they're talking about how it's so important to get all the belts and how important getting all the belts is, but at the same time, they're always complaining about how corrupt and unimportant the sanctioning bodies are, and it's the biggest straw man argument I've encountered on YouTube for quite some time. That is not accurate. That is fucking stupid. And let me explain to you why, okay? You can, point out the obvious, that the sanctioning bodies are fucking corrupt and inconsistent, all right? You see, what they don't tell you, and this is the stupid part, right? These sanctioning bodies don't want Undisputed. Everything they do is against Undisputed. So you being for Undisputed is by definition going against the sanctioning body's will, right? It's not about, bending to their will and worshiping the ground that they walk on. And like, you could totally, be objective and point out their inconsistencies and their corruptions and all that. You could do that. Like this idea that we all know that they're not holier than thou. Like we all know that. Even the people making this argument know that. Either they're arguing that they're all for the sanctioning bodies, or they're arguing that since there's corruption and inconsistencies within the sanctioning bodies, that Undisputed is not valid or not a thing. Like I don't care how you look at it. Okay, even the people that always say that sanctioning bodies don't matter and all this, and who they consider lineal champion, no matter who the lineal champion is, they all want a sanctioning body belt at some point. Every single one of them. There's no way around that. Okay. At the end of the day, there are 4 official major sanctioning bodies. That is not by choice. It's not something that the boxing fans decided. This is just the reality of the situation, right? And these 4 sanctioning bodies, okay, are the 4 major titles per division. And when someone says, I want Undisputed, I want someone to gather all the belts so that there's no confusion and it's clear that there's one champion, okay? That's basically the argument. It's let's get rid of all this hoopla and just make it clear who the one champion is. Let's just gather all the belts, and without dispute, whether by a minority or a majority, whatever the case is, there's no dispute. There's one champion. But no. But DStyle, you don't understand. You can't point out that they're corrupt if you're from Undisputed. Like that's stupid. So I can't point out that certain fighters get certain benefits while others don't, while certain fighters are stripped for doing the same thing to other fighters that have been doing it for years, but they weren't stripped. I can't point out the obvious. I can point out the corruption within those sanctioning bodies. That's stupid. That's like saying you can't acknowledge who the Super Bowl champion is, okay, but at the same time acknowledge corruption within the NFL. You could do both. It is possible to do both. It is preposterous to argue that. It's the stupidest argument ever, and it's the most common argument I've been hearing against pound for pound for the last fucking year. It's insane. Oh yeah, these people they're all for pound, and because all the 4 belts are so important, but at the same time they're always arguing and they complain about the 4 sanctioned bodies and about how they're so corrupt. Well, by definition, we wouldn't be for pound, okay, if we had total faith in all the 4 sanctioning bodies, okay? It's insane. It's absolutely insane, right? It's fucking asinine is what it is, right? And I'm fucking tired of hearing that argument. It's a fallacy beyond belief, right? And like people hear for the first time, like, oh yeah, that's true, man. Like, how could you be all for gathering the 4 belts, but at the same time they're always complaining about how there's too many belts? The reason, just by definition, we want it to be undisputed. There is too many belts. We want to gather all the belts of this one champion. Like it's not that complicated. Like people are just making it more complicated than what it has to be. Okay, so if I on one hand say, I want in every division, I want an undisputed champion. I want it to be without question, without doubt. Okay, not by consensus, just without doubt. I just want to have an undisputed champion. Okay, let's say I were to say that in one hand. In another hand, I point out, okay, obvious corruption going on in the IBF and whether it's a WBC, WBO, WBA. In no way is that, okay, making me like a hypocrite. Like in no way. I'm just pointing out the corruption going on in a certain situation, in a certain sanctioning body, It has nothing to do with my philosophy that all the belts need to be collected. It has nothing to do with that. Nothing. It is a connection people have made, okay, but there really is no connection there. You don't have to agree and say that sanctioning bodies are holier than thou, okay, for you to believe in Undisputed. That's stupid. And that is asinine. That is retarded, okay? And it's something, it's like a little trick that's been going on. And I really don't see anybody pointing it out, so I'm doing it, all right? Are you kidding me? All right? Come on, these well, why are you pointing out about how so-and-so's getting special treatment by the WBC? Okay, that's totally contrary to you believing in Undisputed. Like, what? That's stupid. That's retarded. All right? It just is. It's when you logically think about it, it makes no fucking sense. None. No, but how can you one hand argue about four undisputed, but on the other hand, I always talk about how the four sanctioned bodies are so corrupt. How can you always be criticizing the four sanctioned bodies if you're for undisputed? Like, how can you always criticize them, but hold them in such a high standard? To unify, like what? Because at the end of the day, okay, per division is 4 official titles. That's not by my. If it was up to me, there would be 1 title per division. But that's the reality set forth. That's the reality in front of me. All right. So my answer to that is collect all the belts. There's 1 fucking champion, and it's undisputed. It's not that complicated. Okay. And the process of wanting to collect all the belts for 1 fighter, if I point out the obvious corruptions in each of the sanctioning bodies, in no way does that make me a hypocrite. That makes you an idiot if you connect it that way. That's what it does. Let's open up the chat. Made my point, right? But let's open up the chat. No, but DStyle, you can't argue that. It's not possible, DStyle. How can you argue that Undisputed is important, but at the same time, always criticize the sanctioning bodies? Like, there's no connection between the two. Wanting a undisputed champion means that we don't, by definition, aren't satisfied with 1 champion and with 1 belt. I mean, just by definition. So, of course, I'm going to criticize the sanctioning body when it strips somebody when it shouldn't. Of course, I'm going to criticize the sanctioning body if I disagree, okay, with one of their decisions. It has nothing to do with me being for undisputed. All right, let's see here. Jesus Christ. No, but DStyle, you don't understand? I do understand. I probably understand more than you, okay? It's a stupid argument, all right? It's dumb. Like I haven't even given it that much thought. Give me like 30 minutes before I do a video, okay? I'm already tearing it apart. Okay, imagine if I just gave it some thought. Okay, whoever came up with this concept and this argument, okay, they either got it out of a fly, okay, out of the blue, okay, or they thought they were slick. All right. Why would anyone, in any way, shape, or form, whether you're for the sanctioning bodies or against the sanctioning bodies, why would you be against collecting all the belts? For what reason? For what reason? For what reason will you be for not collecting all the belts? For there being 1 official champion per weight class. For what? You have to be all for what these inconsistent sanctioning bodies are for? for you to be for it? That makes no sense. All right, let's see here. Haplotaz, support DStyle, he says. Empathy boxing, but DStyle, you don't understand. You can't be undisputed without the IBO, IBA, and WBF. Fuck those sanctioning bodies. Okay? God damn. Haplotype arguing against Undisputed is like saying, like you like the confusion we have in boxing. Saying we want Undisputed doesn't mean you cannot say the body suck. Exactly. In fact, being for Undisputed totally means that you give the sanctioning bodies a fucking middle finger. Like, by yourself, you don't mean fucking shit. Okay? All 4 belts make somebody the fucking man. That's what it fucking means. Okay? Haplotap says. Oh, I already read that. Bud was the last Undisputed Sister Slick. What's good? Yo, what's up, Blood Boxing? Man and Water, fighters are equally guilty too. Many that do not want to take the fights required to become undisputed. Well, that's true. If a fighter, for whatever reason, is not making the moves to become undisputed, you got to call him out on that, of course. People saying, what's up to Blood? Haplotype. How about the IBF stripping dudes randomly without giving them 9 months they have to defend their own rules? Well, there you go. I don't keep up that much with the specific rules, okay? But crap like that prevents Undisputed. So if I were to criticize that and that stops Undisputed, how does that make me like oh my God, like, how could you criticize the IBF or stripping people for no reason? But at the same time, you argue that the IBF is important and critical to make Undisputed. Like, shut up, okay? I'm criticizing their ruling because I believe that that someone who holds a title is an official champion in boxing, okay? And I believe that collecting all the 4 belts, which includes the IBF, makes somebody undisputed. It's not that complicated. Right? God damn. Fan International Boxing, what is duty style? What's up, bro? What it do? He corrected himself. Okay, Haplotype, it would be easy to do if they make unification mandatory. I agree, and then there wouldn't be any problem. What there? MBT Boxing, what's good, fan? And what's up, MBT, by the way? Joe Lopez, 40 ounce. Floyd Mayweather was the IBF's love child. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but there you go. All right, Haplotype, 5 titles if you count WBA, regular, and super. Okay. So that's a good example, right? So if I were to say, right, I'm for Undisputed. Okay, I want somebody to collect the WBA, the IBF, the WBO, the WBC. Okay, I want there to be an undisputed champion. And then at the same time, if I say, yeah, the WBA having a regular champion and a super champion is fucking stupid, and it makes no fucking sense. That doesn't mean that I am saying one thing and then another. Okay, that's not what that means. That doesn't mean that I'm being a contrarian about, undisputed on another point at all. It doesn't mean that at all. It's just like this whole, like, if you criticize the sanctioning bodies, okay, you are being a hypocrite when it comes to calling for undisputed is the most retarded argument I've been hearing all fucking 2017. And 2018, that shit has to get shut down. Shut it down. All good, MBT, says Fannin. Haplotype, if you know what you're talking about, then you know. If you know what you're talking about, you know. Yeah, that's right. All right, how's life in Down Under? They're talking to MBT, obviously. Boxing, no fun if you only have one champion. These styles. This is Mike 104. What? Well, it means you let people know who the fucking real champ is in that division. All right, you want to repeat words over and over. MBT Boxing says the fan in Boxing Channel, fantastic, bruv. But I just wish a little cheaper or something like that. But the WBA in terms is MBT. MBT also said the WBA originally invented the super and regular only for the WBA champ to be if it's unified. They made WBA regular, so the super champ is excused from fighting Mandos to fill the other belts. Mando. So stupid. Mando means mandatory for those that don't know. Right? So, of course, I could point out how stupid that is by the WBA and at the same time be for Undisputed. I mean, this idea that you can't criticize the sanctioning bodies and at the same time, be for Undisputed is the most stupid argument I've been hearing all year. And I've been waiting for somebody to point it out. And nobody's pointed it out. And people keep saying it over and over. Why? Because nobody points it out. Because they think they got something. Ha ha! I gotcha. Well, they don't got shit, actually. That makes no fucking sense. So I can't recognize the Super Bowl champion, but not criticize the fucking practices of the NFL? Of course you could do both. I could criticize the practices of the NBA, but at the same time acknowledge that the winner of the NBA Finals is the champion. I could recognize both things. I could recognize who the winner of the World Series is, but at the same time criticize the MLB if for whatever reason they're corrupting this or that. Of course I could point that out. Like this idea that you can criticize the sanctioning body, but at the same time acknowledge that whoever is holding their belts is a champion. All right? That you can't do both. That is ridiculous. That's stupid. That's a dumb argument. Start calling people out on that. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. It's a stupid argument. All right? Boxing Fan says, y'all remember how Jacobs was regular champion going into the GGG fight and Triple G was super champion. Then after that, they made Murata fight for the regular belt. Yes, and I could point out, and I could say that is stupid by the WBA. I can criticize that, okay? And at the same time be all for an undisputed champion, all right? Haplotype, they made regular and super at Lennox Lewis' suggestion, I believe. Probably made sense to him at the time, but it was becoming a huge problem it has become a huge problem for the sport. Yes, it has. Mike, at this point, the stars to Undisputed should at least be attainable in each division. I agree. NBT Boxing, yeah, Boxing Fan. Jacobs didn't even bring the title to the conference or fight. No idea how Murata got it. Well, I don't know either. Okay. Look, it's not a secret that the sanctioning bodies are corrupt. Okay. It's not a secret that the sanctioning bodies are not consistent. It's not a secret that the sanctioning bodies make no sense half of the time. Hell, the sanctioning bodies break their own fucking rules all the fucking time. Okay. It's no secret that they're profit based. And since they're profit based, they make decisions based on profit. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Okay? But that has nothing to do with being all for Undisputed. Nothing. It has nothing to do with that. You could criticize both things. Wanting Undisputed has a lot to do with the problems of there being multiple champions in the sport. Okay, it has a lot to do with that. Just wanting Undisputed by definition. Okay, just by definition makes it okay that you don't support the corruption of the sanctioning bodies. Okay, the sanctioning bodies are not designed for Undisputed. They're not. If they were designed, if their rules and regulations were designed for Undisputed, then you would have a point. But they're not. That's since they're not designed for Undisputed. It's not what they do. They're not in business for that. Being for Undisputed doesn't mean that if you criticize the sanctioning bodies and point out how corrupt they are, that you're contradicting yourself. It doesn't. God damn. Jesus Christ. Holy Mother Mary of God. Did I say Jesus? Okay. God damn. Where am I? MBT Boxing, yeah, boxing fan, Jacobs, blah, blah, blah. I read that. Colt Ted, always going to be boxers picking and choosing, ducking opposition, undisputed champ in boxing. Now it's like finding a unicorn. I agree, but at the same time, well, there's nothing wrong with calling that and being for that as a boxing fan. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, MBT Boxing. WBO was getting too much money from Top Rank and Frank Warren to participate. Blood Boxes, LOL. I'm trying to understand how people are making this argument that if you criticize the sanctioning bodies, you can't be for fucking Undisputed. It makes no fucking sense. And then the way they say it, like they say it like it makes sense, and it doesn't. Yeah, these people, they're always talking about how Undisputed is so important. It's so important to be undisputed, but they're always, criticizing the sanctioning bodies. Like they said, like they just made a good point. You're not making a good point. You fucking blithering idiots. You're not making a good point. They criticized the IBF the other day, and then when I talk about how getting all the belts together, which includes the IBF, is so important. Like, are you dumb? Are some of these people honestly retarded? Do they have like mental issues? Okay, like honestly, like how could they argue that? It makes no fucking sense. Okay, like none. It makes so because I criticize controversial play in the NFL, I can't acknowledge who the Super Bowl champions are. Like it makes no fucking sense. Okay, it's stupid. I mean, goddamn. Yeah, they're always criticizing the sanctioning bodies, but they don't want to act like these sanctioning bodies are so important because they're always talking about Undisputed. Like, they think that's like a good point. That's fucking laughable. If it wasn't so sad, I'd be fucking laughing right now. It's not a good point. And you've heard it all 2017. They've been making that point. All of 2017. They think, they're always criticizing the WBC and the Suleimans and how they're so corrupt. But they want to talk about how getting all the belts all together, which includes the WBC, is so important. They're so dumb. Like, are you dumb? Like, is that the best you got? That's it? Like, that's the best argument you have against that you have against Undisputed? Is that the best you fucking got? That's it? I've given you motherfuckers a year to give me a good argument. That's it? That's it? That's a fucking weak argument. That argument sucks. That argument's kind of stupid, actually. It's not a good argument. All right, let's see if we could read some of these comments here. Probably just says too many fucking divisions, too many fucking champions. Yeah, but if you point that out, you're somehow contraring yourself to Undisputed. Like, it's stupid. It's dumb. Haplotype. Rank the other champs from other bodies and make unification mandatory. In the event the guy moves up or retires, process begins again. I agree. Good point. MBT Boxing says, LOL. I don't know what he laughed at too. Maybe something I said. Who knows? All right, Mike. But DStyle, you're making some sense. Yeah, these guys, you're like, that's the part that gets me. Like, they think it's a good point. They're like, I swear to God, go back and listen to some of these dudes. This is what they say. Like, they're all for Undisputed, the importance of Undisputed. But the other day, he made a contradiction because he criticized the IBF. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's it. Like, the fact that we were objective and criticized the IBF or the WBC and the WBA for some shit, okay, somehow discredits our call for Undisputed? Like, that's retarded. That's the most retarded argument I've ever fucking heard. Boxing and D-Style, why do you predict who will be the next undisputed champion, or do you think it will be a while before we see another? Well, probably heavyweight is the closest one right now, in my opinion. So either Joshua, maybe Parker. He's a side note, but possible. But either Joshua or fucking Wilder is possible. And by no coincidence, people that don't like guys like Joshua and Wilder are just so against, Undisputed. Like it's you notice all the people against Undisputed, it's always people that don't like fighters that are close to becoming Undisputed. Like it's fucking stupid. Okay. Next. Colton. It is important that sanctioned bodies are corrupt, but the boxers hide behind them. Like, for instance, if Adonis Stevenson said he wanted to fight Andre Ward, they make the fight right now. Well, Andre Ward is retired, but I don't think he'll be retired. I think NBT Boxing will be paying me $100. $100. Okay? But nonetheless, I think Ward will be back. But nonetheless, yes, these sanctioning bodies are not for... this is the part that makes no sense. The sanctioning bodies do not in any way, shape, or form favor what people calling for Undisputed want. Okay? Undisputed does not favor the sanctioning bodies. It doesn't. Okay? The reason that the sanctioning bodies do not want to, in most cases, not all cases, but in most cases, don't want to unify is because they want to make profits. They want to make money. They don't want to share money with anybody else. Like this idea, like it's stupid. It's stupid. Prodigy says, but D-Style, you don't understand D-Style. Apparently I don't. Haplotype, if guys want to say Lino is important because the guy they like is Lino and doesn't want to unify, they miss that there is no Lino without Undisputed. I definitely agree with that. MBT says that Parker wins, they'll have an immediate rematch. Right at the bat. He's got to rematch Joshua no matter what. All right. Possibly. Might. Are the issues with sanctioning bodies already fucked beyond repair? Probably are. But you know what? We get Undisputed. We get one guy. Well, then I don't give a fuck. Okay, you get a dude that unifies all the titles. I don't give a shit. At that point, I don't give a shit about the rules. And that's the point that a lot of these idiots miss. Once it's established that one man is without doubt the champion, okay, even if the IBF decides to strip him or whatever, he is, like Haplotype said, you need Undisputed to become Lino. MBT Boxing put a bunch of bags of money on there, all right? Boxing fan, these guys are idiots because they don't criticize sanctioned bodies which are corrupt. Then you have no integrity. Well, you know, this is the thing, okay? It's the people making these points. It's not that they don't know that, or it's not that they don't criticize the sanctioning bodies. They do. But they think they're making a good point by pointing out that if you criticize the sanctioning bodies, you can't be for pound. Because by definition, if you criticize the sanctioning body, a sanctioning body means nothing. Therefore, there's no reason for Undisputed to mean anything. That's your argument, okay? But that makes no fucking sense. It makes no sense at all, right? None. Because I don't give a fuck who they say is Undisputed, or because either they believe in the sanctioning bodies 100% or they don't. And if they do, then they're stupid. If they don't, then they're trying to make the point that I'm saying. And they're trying to make the point that I'm saying, okay, I don't care who they think is Lino, okay, whoever they think is Lino fought for one of those sanctioning bodies. Those sanctioning bodies do matter, okay? Like they do. We could say they don't matter all day, but they do, okay? At the end of the day, they matter. I'm not saying, they just do, all right? And guys will avoid each other from fighting one another because of these titles, all right? That's why I'm for unifying them. Like, it's not that complicated. Like, it really isn't. It's not rocket science here. I'm not asking people to do calculus. I'm just saying that I want to see everyone unify. It's really not that complicated. Honestly, it isn't. I'm not asking people to do fucking calculus or pre-calculus or fucking advanced algebra here. Okay, I'm not. Like, I'm just telling you to understand that I want to see all these guys unify. Like, it's not that complicated. Yeah, these guys, they're such hypocrites. They're always criticizing the sanctioning bodies, but at the same time, they're calling for undisputed. They're so stupid. Like, are you dumb? Like, they're always making this argument. Like, it's a dumb argument. It's a dumb argument. Okay? Like I said, let me put it this way, okay? You could criticize the UFC all day, okay? You criticize the UFC and Dana White and the owners and their business practices, the way they run their business, all fucking day, right? You could be totally against your business practices. But their UFC champion in its weight class is their UFC champion. Like, you can't say that those champions aren't legitimate because you're against the way the UFC runs their business. Okay? That would make no fucking sense. Like, oh, like, hold on. Like Cyborg isn't a real champion. I mean, I like the way the UFC runs their business. Like, it's just stupid. That makes no sense. The only people we could call champions are the ones that hold belts in the official sanctioning bodies. Unfortunately, the world we live in, okay, these sanctioning bodies are the ones that are official. It doesn't mean I agree with their business practices. It doesn't mean I agree with how many there is. By definition, the fact that I want Undisputed means I'm not for there being so many of them. All right? Grab Jack. In 2045, there will be 10 world titles per division, probably. Let me see if I can go back here. Mr. Boxing Today. Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? Okay, everybody subscribe to Mr. Boxing Today. All right? Subscribe to Haplotype. Subscribe to Blood Boxing. Subscribe to NBT Boxing. Right? By the way, happy New Year to everybody. Or boxing fans, I remember the IBO belt was not in the line for the Crawford and Dingo because they wanted the ridiculous sanction and fee from both fighters for the belts on the line, and that was the IBO, LOL, whatever. All right, there you go. Blood Boxing is LOL. Justin Boastman says, problem with is other than the occasional IBF, sanctioning bodies don't enforce mandatories. But all the dumb rules about not ranking other champions in the sanctioning body suck. Well, a lot of rules about the sanctioning body suck, okay? But at the end of the day, I just want to see them fucking unify, and I want one fucking champion. Okay, that's all I want. Okay? Me criticizing the IBF for this, or the WBO for that, okay? And the WBC for this, okay? And the WBA for that, okay? It has nothing to do with me wanting Undisputed, and does not, mean I'm being a hypocrite or that I'm being contrarian or none of that. I'm not saying you're saying that. I'm just saying. Colton, UFC has shit show going on with this interim belt mess. Colton, 155, 185 division are on pause. Mr. Boxing, all right, he's saying thanks to everybody. Boxing fan, David Alexander versus Victor Ortiz, official in El Paso, Texas. You know what? I'm going to go to that fight. If Alexander versus Victor Ortiz is in El Paso, Texas, DStyle will be at that fight. I'm going to be there. Okay? That's a good fight, actually. I'll be there. If that's true, I'll be there. Prodigy, UFC can't even get Conor to defend his title bout in 14 months. Well, that's a whole other issue altogether. Moving on. I can deal with just 2 belts, blah, blah, blah. But Conor will be banned, blah, 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 right? I don't know what happened to the IBA. I didn't know there was an IBA. Okay. Colton or GSP running from Whitaker. All right. GSP's ducking, guys. I get it. Mr. Boxing today, I just haven't had enough passion to upload over the last month, but I'm turning listening to my favorite channels consistently. What's up to Mr. Boxing today? All right. So you guys are making some good points all around. James Toney's a WBF champion. James Toney's a champion? Like, that's insane. All right. WBF. That sounds like WWF. but anyway, Pan Pacific says NBT Boxing. All right. IBA still around. So is IBF. Roy Jones won it in the last fight. All right. But those aren't the effect. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we all know, like, this pretend game that some of these idiots do, like, where, like we can't call for Undisputed because supposedly we always call into question the decisions of the sanctioning bodies, and then they act like if something like the IBA or the IBF, WBF is in the same level as IBF and WBC, WBA, and they're not. And everybody knows they're not. Like, everybody knows that they're not at the same level, okay? Everybody knows that one is more prestigious, way and official, and the other one is not. Everybody knows that. Can that change in the future? Is that a problem? Of course it is. We should put a stop to that. Things could be different 10 years from now. But right now, everybody knows which are the four official and which are not, okay? So whenever I say I want Undisputed, I want those four belts unified, you always get people that act stupid. Like, oh, what about the IBF? What about the IBA? What about the IBC and the WWF and the WCW? And, like everybody knows those are not official. Okay, like everybody knows that. Like, there's no reason to even discuss those. Okay, it's universally known. Okay, it's just accepted. It's a waste of breath to even entertain that idea or debate that. It just is. Okay. I'm just saying. So if I say something like, oh, the fucking WBA is acting like a fucking joke. They got a fucking regular champion and this champion, that guy's trash. Well, of course, I'm going to criticize it. I'm going to criticize when they make stupid decisions. I'm going to criticize when they crown somebody when they don't deserve to be a champion. I'm going to criticize when they make corrupt decisions or when they strip somebody when they shouldn't strip somebody. Of course, I'm going to criticize them. But it doesn't mean that I don't want all four bouts to be collected by one fucking individual per division. All right? Anyway. Yeah, I said WCW. Boxing fan, are you okay with unifications taking a while to want to immediately have no patience, blah, blah, blah. Unifications, man, there's no reason we shouldn't just do unifications. There's just no reason for it. Okay, none. NBT Boxing, he lost it, though. Dwyer made a video picking James Toney, talking about him being the best defensive fighter of his era. I'm like, bro, that was 15 years ago, and he lost to do with 2 losses. All right? NBT Baltic champ. 70% is steep. Popular boxers need mainstream endorsement money. Hell, even Chris Algieri said he lost money to take a fight with Spence Jr. Wow. All right, guys. Anyway, I made my points. All right. I'm sure you guys can elaborate from those points, make the points even better. Okay. I just pointed out a stupid, flawed argument that's been brought up, okay, that's still being brought up, right? And I'm just pointing it out. That's all I'm doing, right? Hopped out of the chair for that one. The WC tried to. I don't know about all that. Justin Boseman says, I think guys make too much money not being undisputed champion, so there's no benefit in doing it. I love the guys unify, but there's no money for these guys. Look, there is money for them to unify, bro. Like this idea that there is. Okay. Now, whether they believe or not that they could win, it's another idea, but it shouldn't be up to the fighters to decide whether or not. They should just make them unify. Okay. Boxing fans should be pushing for them to unify at the end of the day. All right. Mr. Boxing today says her room. Oh, hold on. Boxing fan says heard some rumors about Khan versus Broner who wins. Khan actually. I actually got Khan in that fight. Mr. Boxing today had a guy tell me Undisputed was WBA super title, WBO, IBF, and Boxing Rights Association vote. Who do you think is number one? I shit you not. Well, yeah, that's kind of dumb. Mike 104. If anyone wants to play chess online, see me, Michael Chess 101, blah, blah, at chess.com. See y'all. Get Red Fox. When the IBO comes in, there will be no more Undisputed. Well, hopefully the IBO never gains steam and never becomes official. Lineal doesn't mean shit compared to Undisputed. Sanctioning fees gonna hurt their pockets though, says Black Latin. I agree. Our sanctioning fees 2. I don't know what the percentage is. All right. Crawford and Ndongo paid 140,000 K a piece. Yeah, there should be one champion, man. But that's another story. We can always dive into that later date. Lino will still exist even after the belt to become number 6, but Undisputed will become totally obsolete. I don't know about that, bro. Boxing fan 2, boxing fan, Mr. Boxing Today 2, I'm sorry. Check the comments in my was Mayweather ever Undisputed video. Some fans don't know the criteria. Justin Boseman, it's risk factor in terms of the money. What I mean, the money. Blah, 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 all right. I got you, bro. Anyway, I do got to go, guys. Again, it's text messages here. I got to read these text messages and I got to go somewhere. All right. I know a lot of you got things to do and people to see. I got things to see and people to do. Right. So, nonetheless, DStyleBoxing, you got to get the hell out of here. Okay. All right. Anyway, this is DStyleBoxing. Keep it boxing. I'm going to take my bow. You're welcome. I'm out of here. Later, space.